Hey everybody, this is Cameron Dennis from the Blockchain Acceleration Foundation. I'm here with Noor Asili, and we are eager to bring to you Ethereum push notifications today. But before we get diving into it, BAF is a 501c3 nonprofit that accelerates blockchain education, development, and adoption. We do so by starting accredited blockchain courses at universities, getting our members jobs in the space, building projects internally. We're working with, it's actually governed by the top blockchain club leaders from around the country, and they could fire me if they wanted to. So, it's really cool to see, we're really experimenting with centralized governance. It's sort of a traditional structure, and we're building a bunch of tooling to slowly decentralize. But I just want to give a quick update before, her background before Noor, who is our member of the team. She is starting the blockchain club at University of Rochester. She's helping us with a lot of member onboarding, some recruiting, sort of dipping her toes across the whole field of, BAF and today. You can get away, and I will close the event after.
Thanks, Cameron. Hi, everyone. I'm Noor. I'm a core member at BAF, and I'm really excited to moderate today's event. Today, we have Jeff from Ethereum Push Notification Service. He's the product and engineering lead, and he's going to tell us all about it today. Is Jeff here? I can't see him.
Yeah.
Cool. Hi, Jeff.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff. I'm, as Noor was saying, I'm product and development lead at EPNS, and I'm really excited to be here today. Hopefully, we will have a great conversation about what we're building.
Yeah, super excited to chat about Ethereum Push Notification Service today. So tell us.
All right. So I prepared a quick presentation for today, and it's basically just to tell everybody what we have been doing and how we get to where we are today. So let me share my screen really quick, and let me get this really quick. All right. So hopefully you can see the screen now. 1 second. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Perfect.
All right, perfect. Okay, so thanks again. The name of our protocol is Ethereum Push Notification Service, EPNS for short. And I wanted to talk briefly about our team first. Basically, this is one cool thing. We are distributed globally. So we have people, I'm in Costa Rica, by the way. But a big part of our team is in India. Harsh and Richa, they are the founders, and they are in India as well. But we have people everywhere. Thankfully, we have people in Canada, people in the Americas. And more recently, we just got a member from Brazil as well, right? So that tells you a little bit about how globally dispersed we are. We always like to take a minute just to tell you about where we're coming from, which for us is really important because it not only shows our journey, but it also motivates builders to know that the greatest and best thing in Ethereum is its community, right? There is always somebody willing to help you. And this has been our story. Everything started for us with Hack Money, ETH Global's hackathon Hack Money. And from there, we went from one step to the next, right? We were invited to product validation day at IDEO and then Gitcoin kernel, right? We always had a lot of help and mentorship and guidance from Ethereum Foundation. And we even participated for, we even were awarded with grants from Aave and Matic at the beginning, right? And well, these are just some of the publications that we have been featured on, but more recently, our protocol thankfully has been getting a lot of attention and traction, and we have been covered in many more, right? So I'm not going to give a demo right now, but I do wanted to show you how our product looks like. So I prepared a quick recording. Let me show you. This is right now, if you subscribe to receive notifications with EPNS, this is just a recording from our mobile app. So this is what you will see, right? It's a very quick login process where you just put your wallet address And of course, it has some biometrics and some password. And once you enter those two details, you're done to receive notifications. This is an example of notifications that you will receive, how the application looks right now, the mobile app. And these are just things that you will see if you download our mobile application. We have an iOS version and an Android version, right? This has sound. Give me 1 second. All right, and as you can see, these are decentralized notifications that are coming to you, and they are not limited to plain text notifications. They are rich media content. You can send videos, you can send images, you can send whatever needs to be sent that is important for you to notify something to a user. All right, let's continue with the presentation. All right, so getting to business. Why do we think that EPNS is one of the missing pieces in the Web3 right now? And especially why we think that we are in the Stone Age right now in terms of communication? Well, if you think about it, right now, maybe we forgot about the old days, but in the old days, users were expected to go and fetch the information themselves, not even an email. If you were using an email service, you had to go and check if you had new email, right? At some point in history, I'm talking about more than 20 years ago, push notifications came to life, and you were no longer expected to go and retrieve the information by yourself, but the information was pushed to you. That was a game changer, right? Well, that doesn't exist in the Web3 right now. It just doesn't, right? Right now, the Web3 cannot notify users, and that causes really, it's a problematic that it's what we're trying to build. Because what if, for example, right now with DeFi and all the hot stuff happening, what if you have a operation in a DeFi platform and you are expected to go and check every day if your operation is looking good? It would be better if you get a notification saying, communicating the status of your operation, right? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so what's our solution? We created a notification protocol, and we added a couple of things that are really, really interesting to it. So the notification protocol is the core, right? It's what enables Web3 services to send notifications to wallet addresses, which is what EPNS does. But we flipped things around a little bit, because historically, whenever you got a notification, it was a one-way street. It ended there. If you get a notification, you get informed about something, thank you, it ends there. Well, now with our solution, what we did is that we created incentivized notifications. And these notifications is basically users are incentivized to subscribe to a channel to receive notifications. Now, it's not only that they will want to receive notifications because it's information that matters to users, but you will actually get an incentive to receive those notifications when you receive them. And we did this in a platform agnostic way that gives us a lot of room for growth and flexibility and scalability. We did it. We are not married to any platform, any tech stack or anything. We did it thin, light, and generic enough that it lets us scale to wherever we need to go. All right. Now, to talk about some of the most important use cases, we put it here in 3 categories, although there are more, of course. But DeFi is always one that is interesting for everybody. And just to put in your mind a little of some of the things that you can expect from DeFi, well, it's very common that a user will, for example, put collateral to get a loan in one of the DeFi platforms. Well, that's what I was saying. If your loan is approaching liquidation stage, or maybe your loan is coming due or something like that, you want to get a notification. You don't want to risk your assets. And one of the cool things that we do with the protocol is that not only you get the notification saying, hey, there's something going on with your position, right? But you get a notification saying there's something going on. Click here to go and do something about it. That's our call to action feature that will take you directly to where you need to go to perform any action, right? And it's not only about preventing or preventive actions. It's also about being proactive. It enables protocols to be proactive, for example, when it comes to new opportunities, right? So it's not only about you're risking something, it's about, hey, here's something that you might want to take advantage of, right? So we're communicating both. In the case of gaming, right? That is that is also something that sometimes people don't think about. What if you win the lottery? What if between us here in this meetup there is somebody that has $1 million waiting on their wallet and they just don't know because they haven't go to the platform? So you want to get those notifications. That is not available right now, or was not available before EPNS. The same goes with gaming. For those of you that are not gamers, it's very common that whenever you are going to start a game, you want to contact your friends to go on a quest together, or you want to challenge somebody for battle. So there's plenty of room for gaming, right? And Web3 services, we like to give the example of ENS domains, for example, because think about it. If you have a domain right now and you are not keeping an eye on Twitter, or you are not keeping an eye on the socials, or whatever channel, you are in risk of losing your domain. And that's something that nobody wants to lose. It becomes like something really personal. And with EPNS, now you can get a notification saying not only you lost your domain, but do something because you are 7 days away from losing your domain, for example. Right? There are more use cases, more categories, right? There's DAOs, there's other things, but this was just to give you an idea of different things that can be achieved with EPNS. So why we did it decentralized? Mostly because, well, not only because we like that decentralization concept, but also because it allows us to add that incentivization of notifications, right? So with blockchain and everything that comes with it, we were able to implement that. And of course, it didn't exist before, so we saw an opportunity there. What do we have in our product and ecosystem right now? We have what we call the push service, which is the one that is in charge of retrieving notifications and dispatching them to wherever they need to go. So, for example, if you have the mobile app, it will get you to your mobile app. Then we have the mobile app that I was showing you before, right? We have the iOS version, the Android version, and they are both working and available in its respective Play Store or Apple Store. We have an EPNS app, which is where you will want to go if you want to subscribe to new channels, you want to see which channels are available. And very recently, just last week, we released our EPNS Chrome browser extension. It's in alpha. It's an alpha release, but that lets you receive notifications while you're browsing the web. Even better news is that we are already functional. You can go and subscribe to the channels available in app.epns.io and start receiving notifications right now. Right, so what are some of the future protocol and ecosystem plans that we have? This will never stop. We are always constantly adding additional features to our protocol, mostly because we are collaborating with some protocols already, and they are the ones that are helping us shape the protocol in a way that it fulfills everyone's needs. So adding additional features to the protocol is a never-ending task for us. We plan in the future to go with decentralized video and chat. Governance is something that is coming by the end of this year, which, by the way, I'm going to send a URL of our roadmap for whoever wants to read it. L2 is everyone's homework nowadays, so that's something that we're doing. By the way, we have a channel that we created for Aave that we are looking at events happening in Aave in Polygon and triggering notifications to your wallet directly. So if your loan is reaching a low health factor, you're going to get a notification. We're talking about Polygon here, right? Cross-chain composability, we're going to build additional carriers. We released with our Q2 items, our developers SDK, backend SDK, but we are going to expand it more, and we're going to release more SDKs. And of course, we're going to continue providing more value-added services. Now, just to tell you a little bit about who is backing us. These are some of our investors, and I think it's a good moment to say that we have been extremely lucky and we're extremely grateful, because they are not only investors, but they are truly advisors to our protocol. They have been helping us in many ways to get where we are right now. If you have any questions, or if you want to join any of our channels, the number one thing is to join our Telegram channel. Probably that's where we share a ton of information, right? It's EPNS Project, and of course follow us on Twitter, right? So thank you. That was the presentation that I had for now.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jeff. That was awesome. I was personally really amazed when I learned about your service, because I was like, with all of these advancements in Web3 and it's moving so fast, and this basic super important feature like the lack of notifications, no one worked on this. I was honestly mind blown. So very cool. I want to start off with a question from the audience. Glenn here asked, can you see how communication could improve things? Wonder if EPNS could integrate with the likes of Zapper or InstaDApp.
Yeah, well, definitely. The answer is yes, right? And probably this is a good moment to share some of the things that we have been doing. So basically, yeah, we can integrate. We do have an integration with Zapper already, but it's mostly oriented to keep an eye on our staking, and yeah, our staking and liquidity providing pools that we have. But if you think about it, he mentioned Zapper, and which other one? I'm sorry.
And InstaDApp.
Yeah. Okay. So if you that's part of the things that I think we are going to be discussing. Integrating our protocol is possible because it's lightweight and it's very generic, and services who wants to use our protocol and implement EPNS, they can do it, right? And there are SDKs and other things that we provide. But when it comes to integrating wallets, and there are two sides of the fence: whoever wants to send notifications and whoever wants to receive notifications. So if we're talking about wallets, that's the other side of the fence. Those are the crypto wallets, for example, trying to retrieve notifications and deliver it to owners, to wallet owners.
Yeah, cool. Cameron also brought up something super important. He said, I see notifications playing a key role in disrupting the ad-based revenue model. So I think this is time for you to tell us about the incentive system in EPNS and how you guys use game theory and allow people to make money off of like subscribing to your service, right?
That's actually a good point. Okay, so to talk about the incentives part. So this was something that was designed very early, and in the Web3, for example, right now there is no way to identify if a service means good or bad, right? So you know, good or bad with the protocol, and this is where staking comes into play. And I'm going to explain a little bit about our game theory right now. So if you want a service that wants to send notification to stay good, there must be incentives. And that's why we decided a game theory where services who want to send notifications, they first need to activate themselves in the protocol. And what is activating themselves in the protocol? This activation involves staking fees, and they start really low, like as low as 50 DAI, but of course they can go higher, right? And this was originally designed as a civil mechanism, and we started thinking, what can we do with this staking from this service? And we thought of the idea that, you know, this staking can be put to generate interest in Aave protocol. And once we realized that that was a great option, right, then the second part of the idea came, which is, wouldn't it be nice, for example, if users can actually, users that opt in to receive notifications, that they can get the part of that interest? that interest of the channel is earning or generating. And that's when EPNS incentivized notifications were born. And now to expand a little bit more into the game theory, we work with a weighted interest. So our protocol rewards a little bit more the people who join early a channel. And while in the long run, these earnings becomes very low and passive, it plays very well when a channel is growing, and it works great with our game theory to attract more users.
Cool. That's honestly my favorite part about EPNS, like leveraging DeFi to give more power to the people using it, which is super cool. Another thing I was personally thinking about when I learned about EPNS is data privacy, because especially with like spammy notifications, no one likes being bombarded with like notifications in their email. So you send the notifications to the Ethereum address, right? How do you
Correct.
make sure people are not bombarded by like so many notifications?
Okay, that is an excellent question. And this goes very much with our spam score. Not sure if some of you might have had the opportunity to go over our light paper or white paper, but the spam score, being decentralized, being a decentralized network, we cannot really take an arbitrary decision and just ban or block somebody because had a bad behavior, right? That's not how it works in the decentralized world. So, but at the same time, we know that there will be bad actors. There will be bad actors trying to break the system. So that's why we decided to implement a spam score. And what the spam score does, which by the way is not built yet, is something that we're building throughout the year. But the spam score either rewards or penalizes a channel for, according to their behavior. And according as well to other variables like the numbers of subscribers and the number of users that have opted in recently. And what it does, or the way it works, the spam score, is that once after it reaches a certain level or score, it will start to throttle all the notifications that a channel can send out. And this is our theory number one for penalization, where if a channel is doing something by mistake, and they realize that they are being throttled, they will pivot to good behavior, right? So that's our game theory right there again. And if they don't pivot into good behavior, well, the spam score will continue increasing until they cannot send notifications. Now, the second part to it is how do you decrease the spam score, right? So there are even more variables to take in consideration for this. And again, we're still building this. But for us, the time is probably the crucial factor. So it goes from a very long time if the spam score is too high. And for instance, if a channel decides to be a bad actor, a bad player, and they don't want to switch into good behavior, then that channel will not be able to send notifications in a very long time. So that's our penalization number two. And of course, we are making this in an algorithmic fashion that, that's part of the whole decentralization that we are working throughout the year.
Cool. Yeah, that makes lots of sense. I'm gonna move on to some questions in the Q&A section. So someone asked, is EPNS also a wallet?
No, EPNS is not a wallet. EPNS is a service that, let me put it this way. EPNS is a communication layer that services can use to send notifications. Now, the wallet part comes whenever the notification is sent to the service, whichever wallet, we can say, for example, if MetaMask or Trust or any other wallet that choose to implement us, they want to send these notifications to their to the wallets, right? They can send it because the notifications are already there in the communication layer. So we sit in the middle.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Another question is it more expensive to send images as a notificational chain?
No, that's a great question as well. And the answer is no. Because of how we work, and this is getting a little bit technical, but we don't actually send an image or a video or anything like that that is too heavy over into the blockchain, right? Because it is extremely expensive.
Yeah.
But what we do, and that's why I was saying that this is a little more technical. What we do is that we upload the contents of the notification to IPFS, which is a decentralized storage solution, and we send a reference, and whoever wants to, we send a reference with the notification, and whoever wants to display, let's say, that notification in a wallet or a dApp or just in a web page, they will have a reference to that content and they will display it on screen. Hopefully that makes sense.
Cool. Yeah, it does. That's brilliant. I found it really cool how you can customize your notifications, so it can be like a video or an image. Super cool.
Yeah.
Which actually makes me think about my other question for you. How does EPNS make money?
That's an interesting one. Okay, so in the future, we will be working, or we will be using a software as a service model that will charge services. So the token holders, and this goes hand by hand with governance, but the token holders will decide those prices and the distribution of incentives between all the crypto wallets integrating the protocol, being MetaMask, Trust, or whatever other crypto wallet, and other actors in the ecosystem. But we will follow a software as a service model. Right? The cool part is that you, as a token holder, as a part of the governance of the protocol, you will have a voice in how EPNS makes money.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Lev asks, do you pin the image content or content on EPNS?
Yeah, well, we pin the contents on IPFS.
IPFS,
Right?
sorry.
Yeah.
I misread
Oh,
that.
sorry, I didn't read the question. I was trying to look for it.
Cool. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, we have to think, and I just sent a link to our roadmap. It's very light reading. We explain a little bit about all the moving pieces that comprise the EPNS solution. The way somebody needs to think about it is there are two sides of the fence. One side of the fence will actually just make sure that they send notifications, right? So that's any service that wants to send a notification. Let's think about a DeFi protocol. They want to send a notification about a loan liquidation about to happen. So they send it to our middleware layer, to our communication layer that sits in the middle, right? There will be another side of the fence, which are wallets or other services that will want to be listening to that notification, or to be listening to notifications from that service and display it in their dApps or their wallets. So with the notification, what we send is that reference to the IPFS hash. That's the term, right? And what the other side of the fence wanting to display the notification will do is that they will receive a package that includes everything, including that IPFS hash, and they can interpret it and display it however they want into their into their protocol. Yeah, I saw one comment in the chat that we're integrated with Ceramic. We are integrating with them. Yeah, this year.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's part of the things that we're doing. And again, I remind everybody, going through the roadmap, I love it just because it was a team effort, and we tried to put everything in a way that is very digestible, so you understand every single piece of the EPNS ecosystem.
Cool. Yeah, we love going technical on this on these meetups because many people in our audience love that.
All right.
Yeah, another question is, how is EPNS used for staking?
Yeah, there are two answers to that question. One is like when services want to activate themselves in the protocol, there is a staking that happens there, and is the one that I was mentioning before. That and let me just rephrase really quick the game theory. So basically, a service wants to send notification. The analogy that we always like to use is YouTube, because in YouTube, if you're a content producer, you want to create a channel, and that channel, you want subscribers on your channel so that you can share your content or whatnot. And those subscribers, they want to get notifications because they are interested in your content. So when a service wants to set themselves or activate themselves, they have to put funds on stake. Those funds are going to be put against Aave for now, and that interest that is generated is going to be split among the participants or the subscribers of the channel. Now, the other side of the staking is, if you go to which I think it's probably the one that they were asking. But if you go to incentives.epns.io, we have two farms going on. One is the liquidity providing tokens, and the other one is the push tokens. And you can participate in any of them. So there's one that is purely with push, and then there's one that you have to provide LP tokens. That, of course, you have to go to Uniswap first, and then you provide them, and we have pretty good APYs. You might want to check that out.
Cool. Yeah. Can you
over the first 6 months, we were keeping, not 6 months, but recently after we launched. Sorry, but we were seeing like APYs above the 100%. So that's pretty awesome.
Nice, awesome. Can you tell us a bit more about staking by service?
That staking by service is actually the one that I was just explaining.
Okay.
Is the funds that the channels need to put to activate themselves in the protocol.
Yeah, for the incentivized alerts, right?
Correct.
Cool. Very cool. Another question from the audience: will EPNS go cross-chain?
Definitely. That's definitely on our plans. And again, what we're creating, some people think about it as a communication protocol, but it's more than that. We really want to become the de facto middleware layer for communications in general, right? So that not only it's something that we don't want to stay in Ethereum only. Right now, I think I gave you the example of what we did with Matic on Polygon, and while that's not another like blockchain, but it's layer 2, the concept is very similar. Right now, because of the way our protocol is built, we can listen to events happening in other blockchains, in other layer 2 solutions, and we will still trigger notifications to your wallet address. So yeah, the answer is yes. We are already making sure that our protocol is sound and solid enough that will let us, work with other chains.
Cool. Can you tell us about the timeline for that, or are you guys still?
No, that's fine. Throughout this year, we're going to work on it. Well, this year we're going to focus a lot on the well, this year we're going to focus a lot on the layer 2 solutions, right? That's actually working on the layer 2 solution is helping us set the foundation to work with other chains, right? So it might not happen by this year that we're going to be 100% with other chains, but we are ready. It's just that in our roadmap, if you take a look at it, it's not going to be in there right now, but it's going to be very, very close to being this year.
Yeah, cool. And how do you ensure users trust what you do with their data? Because crypto users care a lot about that.
That's an excellent question. Yeah. So one of the things that it's extremely important to say is the user registry. That's how we call it. The user registry is looked over by the protocol itself. So there is no identifiable user data that is kept on chain. Nothing. We went 100% pure Web3 ethos, and we didn't want to connect any user wallet to any email address or anything like that. That's why we are delivering notifications to wallet addresses. But still services, if they want to connect, a wallet address to an email address, they can do it, right? We provide everything. If they want to do it, they can do it on their side. But because of we are an open platform with a platform agnostic behavior, then that's what gives us that flexibility. Now, the only on-chain data that we keep from the user is the public key. And there is a reason behind that, because, and this is something that the user can opt in or not to keep in registry, right? But it enables us to send encrypted notifications. And you might think, okay, what's the importance of encrypted notifications? Well, it turns out that in the future, we can send encrypted notifications that they are not plain text. And with that, we can be sure that only the actual owner of that wallet will be able to decrypt the contents of the notification that we're sending. But if you think about it, that is, for example, in the case of chats in the future, or any other really sensitive information that you want to send encrypted.
Yeah, very cool. I just saw Cameron said, I heard a Chrome extension is coming. Eyes emoji.
You heard well, but you heard late, because that came out last week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm just kidding, but it came out last week, and it's an alpha version. It's an alpha version right now, which we're still working on. But the cool thing is, right now, if you're doing your daily things that you're doing, you just have the browser extension on your browser, and it will tell you if something happens. So just quickly, to take a moment, one of the channels, if you go to app.epns.io, let me actually send that link. Let me send a few links that I had prepared here to send. If you go to app.epns.io right now, there will be a list of channels in there that you can subscribe, and that's different channels of general purpose, or channels that we designed for a protocol specifically. One of the channels is the wallet tracker channel. So the cool thing about that one is that it will notify you if there is a movement in or out of your wallet. So you install the browser extension, you connect it to your wallet, and then if somebody deposits something, you will know immediately. Or if somebody withdraws something, which is probably more interesting, you will know immediately.
Cool.
But yeah, I invite you to go to app.epns.io and to see the entire list of channels in there.
Yep. Ken dropped that in the chat. Thanks, Ken.
Yeah. Oh, he did?
Ken,
Okay, cool.
Ken also said, I'd love to have an EPNS desktop app. So we got requests from our audience.
Well, part of the things that we're doing, we released the backend SDK. We are going to release more SDKs. We're releasing integration guides and sample integrations. Even we recently released an article that talks about the collaborations that we're doing. We were talking about a collaboration with Alpha Homora, Uniswap, Aave, and TrueFi. 4 different integrations. We put them available, make them available in our GitHub, so developers can go and they can implement whatever they want or whatever they need. They can explore. But the cool thing is that now with the SDKs, we are expecting a lot more involvement from the community to start building. And while we don't have a desktop app right now, that doesn't mean that community members cannot go and build it, because right now we are opening all of our GitHub. Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, wow. And Ken just dropped your GitHub in the chat.
I saw that, yeah.
Very cool. Glenn brought up something really cool. He said right now, every website seems to be sign in with Google, sign in with Facebook. Wonder if we will soon see a sign in with Ethereum, Matic, and can EPNS be part of that?
Definitely, and that's part of the things that you will find in our roadmap article. It relates a little bit to the ceramic comment that we got before, because identity plays a big role in everything in the Web3, right? So we are doing our homework, making sure that it's part of the things that it's got to go hand by hand. Having identity, allowing you to do things like this that they are mentioning, like sign in with Google and Facebook and whatnot. That's part of the things that is doable with our protocol. I think right now the lesson here is that it comes down to everyone's creativity. Our protocol, it's a protocol in service of every other protocol. That's one way of seeing it. We created a protocol that will serve other protocols, wallets, or whoever is a participant of the Web3 ecosystem.
Yeah. And that's the amazing thing about blockchain and Web3. It's the collaboration and how open source and decentralized it is.
Yeah.
Very cool. Cameron said, is EPNS sponsoring hackathons? I'm excited to chat about this later. Smile.
All right. We right now at this moment, no. But it was on Gitcoin round 8 that we put up a few bounties. It was 4 bounties that we put, and that is definitely in our plans. We just, at the moment, we are not, because we had a very aggressive roadmap for Q2 and Q3 and Q4 in general. We have a very aggressive roadmap. But part of our roadmap is to develop more the development community and to participate and get more involved in the development community. So participating in hackathons is it's something that we are definitely doing.
Yeah. And I'm sure many people here are curious about your team. Like, how big is it and what is it like?
All right, that's a good question. So right now we are a team, the development team mostly, right? The entire team is I think we're close to reaching the 20 people, right? So we have been growing. As you can see, we do a lot of marketing. We do have content writers. We do have many different people helping in so many different ways. We all do a little bit of everything in general. We all write articles. We all participate in code, QA, and everything, right? So that's one thing that personally it makes me really happy. I'm not bound to one task. I have the opportunity to participate in everything regarding EPNS, and I think that's something that everybody on our team likes. Now the development team, we are 9 people right now, and we have backend people, or let me not call it backend, but blockchain developers looking into Solidity specifically, right? Contracts. We have backend developers that they are very expert in Node.js and all of our backend, right? And now, more recently, we have people that has more expertise in the extension development, in the Chrome extension development and those areas. Why? Because if you think about it, the browser extension, it will become a key role, right? So many people are used to MetaMask right now. Well, it's because it's practical. It's something that everybody can use without being too intrusive. And we have people dedicated to that, and we have people dedicated to integrations as well. And integrations is a skill that is very well valued. So there's people that can actually go to a protocol, analyze what they do, how they do it, and what would be our best approach to implement an integration of EPNS with that protocol.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of room for, like, lots of demand for blockchain developers these days. BAF is actually running a teacher training program, Web3 teacher training program, where we are teaching people Solidity and introducing them to smart contracts and how to code them. So very cool. Cameron actually asked, what skills would you recommend students learn to be successful product managers in the blockchain industry?
Successful project managers, he said?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will say this from a very personal perspective. But I think, like me personally, I have taken many different courses of Solidity development and all the other technologies that are the most common technologies, or the most common technology stack in the blockchain world, right? I am doing product development and I'm doing project management to a degree, right? But it serves me extremely well to know what's happening. It serves me extremely well to know how to QA things properly, how to spot things if they are working right or not. If you are a project manager, why don't you learn how to run scripts for testing, for example. That's extremely useful. And what I'm saying is, it will give you that extra vision to know if you are going to have a risk here from completing one of your milestones, because it will give you those insights. So I guess my advice for project managers in the blockchain space is learn technical matters. Not only I was going to say programming, but it's not about programming. It's about technical matters, getting an understanding of everything happening, getting an understanding of how to test, and you know, that goes with that. Don't trust, verify, right? That goes together with that. So learn those technical skills, even learn from infrastructure. That's always super helpful, so that you don't have to wait on a developer to help you troubleshoot or do things like that. If you become a hands-on project manager, it will make things much easier.
Cool. Yeah, that advice is relevant for product managers in any industry, and especially in an industry like blockchain with new technologies coming in literally every single day. So
and Cameron is saying something in there that I really like. Learning smart contracts. I think it's everyone's homework to learn smart contracts. And let me put it like that: learn smart contracts, because that is, maybe you're not interested in programming Solidity, but you are interested in understanding a smart contract, right? In understanding what it does. That's extremely important.
Okay, so can you give us like a list of skills that people should focus on? I think that would be helpful for our members.
Right. Number one, Solidity. Learn Solidity a little bit. It's still a somewhat simple language compared to other ones out there. So I guess the tech stack is becoming very standard in a way. So React or any of the other front-end frameworks, it's extremely important. Not as a project manager maybe, but you as a developer wanting to join this space, React or any of the other popular front-end frameworks. Node, to me, it caught me by surprise. I was coming from the ancient Web 2 world, and I was not really used to Node, but it surprised me in a really, really nice way. So we're talking about a front-end framework, Node, and Solidity for the backend. You're pretty much set up for a good start if you start learning those.
Cool. And Cameron just like dropped something on Twitter with really good resources if you guys are interested in learning Solidity.
Oh yeah, Crypto Summit.
Cool. The next question is, are you guys hiring? If so, for what?
We are hiring. No, right now we put the hiring on hold a little bit. We just passed our initial round of hiring, but there is another round coming. I don't have the dates yet, but you see how our roadmap is. It's extremely aggressive. We want to build a lot of protocol, so we will be hiring for protocol developers. We will be hiring for integration developers, and maybe that's not the role name, but that's the description. We will be hiring for people who can analyze another protocol and create a good integration with EPNS, right? And of course, there is the need for front-end developers. There is a lot of front-end work coming our way, and we are always interested in knowing people that is like really innovative. And while you might or might not have a deep technical background, that doesn't mean that you cannot join a team and play other roles, right? So we at EPNS, we value a lot that how innovative your attitude, your go-to attitude. That's extremely important.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry, I was involved in the chat. What inspires you most about the blockchain industry? That's a great question.
All right. Yeah. So I've been working for 21 years already, right? And so I did a little bit of everything back in the day. I started as a developer, then I started moving into project management, product management, and whatnot. And probably I I start falling into the rabbit hole, what, 4 years ago, because I had the opportunity to take a look at this technology. It's the very first time in history where you can send a value as a content type, and it changes everything. It changes every single thing. When you start getting to know everything that comes with Web3, all the transparency, all the permissionless uh, characteristics, right? Everything, you start falling in love with it. And in my case, I did have the opportunity to work in 3 different projects. I was working for free, right? I was just joining projects because I wanted to learn. And in one of those projects, on the last one, I had the opportunity to meet Harsh, and we collaborated really well. I met both Harsh and Richa, and we collaborated extremely well, right? And I think that is a great advice for everyone wanting to join the Web3 space. Don't just participate. Join hackathons, join groups, join Discord channels. You will start working, you will start learning, and it's super quick the moment you really start moving into the Web3.
Yeah, I agree. And when did you guys have the idea of EPNS? How did that come to life?
Well, actually, that was Harsh and Richa, because when we were working together before in the other project, I stayed there for a little more, and it was one of those moments in life where you say, okay, this is weird that we don't have notifications. But on the other hand, Harsh, he had a lot of experience with mobile application development, and he knew very well how the Apple push notification service works and how the Google Cloud services works, right? He did have that knowledge. So he saw an opportunity because he was always playing with smart contracts and Web3 in general. And he saw the opportunity because he saw that notifications didn't exist, and he took the best of it, right? He had the knowledge of how it works. He saw the opportunity because it didn't, and he put them together.
Yeah, very cool. I'm just reading in the chat where people are sharing what they like about blockchain and recommending resources to each other, which is honestly what I love about this community. It's like so collaborative. So yeah, thank you so much, Jeff. This was awesome. My final question is, I'm actually curious about where do you see EPNS in the future, like 5 years, 10 years? What's your big vision?
All right. Let me first start by saying that the time in the crypto space goes a lot faster, right?
I know,
So
yeah.
so I better don't predict anything farther away than 5 years, right? But where do I see EPNS? I think that goes together with your interests, right? I love DeFi, I love DAOs, I love everything, right? But very recently, I've been having these ideas of how the Internet of Things will start using notifications for different things, right? So I do see EPNS being a key component of the cities of the future, where there is more automation, more integration of everything, and that the moment will come, like we are in the Web2 right now, in the Web2 world right now, where EPNS will not be mentioned, but because it's already part of our lives. Right now, you don't say, hey, I just got a notification from Apple push notification service, right? You know, nobody says that. But the moment will come where EPNS will not be mentioned, because it's already going to be part of our lives, integral part of our lives, and it will be a foundational part of the cities of the future.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Jeff. That's so exciting. I'm super excited to see where EPNS goes.
Yeah, no, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Noor. This is the first time you've run an event like this, and I think you did a great job. And Jeff, thank you so much for giving all your insight. And I'm personally very excited about EPNS. I mean, the whole ad-based revenue model, it's been something that's on my mind for quite a while. I don't know how, but I feel like notifications, like people should be paid for the attention that they're giving their notifications.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And at first we need a layer of notifications in order, before we're even able to adjust that. So it seems like this is like, there's so much room to grow here, and it's very exciting.
And just quickly, I invite you everybody to join our Telegram, our Twitter, or Discord if you are more into the technical matters. There's a lot of conversation going on, and whether you're technical or not, there's an ideas lab where you can suggest ideas and bring them to our attention, and we can start. You can find a builder there. You never know. So I wanted to end with that.
Yeah, please. Anything else? Like, I guess the channels, we'll drop them back in the chat. We'll probably also include them in the newsletter that goes out next week. And besides that, I also wanted to emphasize Robin Roy is actually a very close BAF member and very active BAF member. And he's a content writer for EPNS. And I thought that was just like a very cool serendipitous thing.
And Robin and I, we have worked together a lot, and I really love working with him. He's on point. He's really, really good.
He's just good. He's just, yeah. So shout out to Robin, and some other shout outs. Shout out to Noor for, organizing this. This is her first time, hopefully not her last, definitely. And, other BAF members, none of this would be possible without Alexis, without Lev, without Hope, without Sebastian and PG and the whole crew, Chanel, and sorry if I missed anybody, but there's a whole team behind this effort, and we're getting so many people jobs in this space. We're starting more accredited courses. We're almost about to start 2 blockchain labs at universities, which, it's really crazy to see all the progress we're making. So if you're interested in getting involved in our various initiatives, you can become a free BAF member. All you got to do is fill out an application. It takes about 5 minutes. And thanks to Noor, the application is a lot more streamlined, and you feel less, you feel like you're wasting less of your time, which is great. But this is our civil resistance in a way. We want to make sure that quality is coming in and that we're not being spammed. So that was the excuse of a long application. So that is that. Next week, we are organizing an event all around the state of recruiting in the blockchain space, which is going to be very fun. And then we're going to take a 2-week event hiatus to organize internally. I didn't say this earlier, but part of BAF's vision is to be the first automated nonprofit in the world. And obviously layer 1 or layer 0 is humans, so that's always going to be there. But when we're talking about all the administrative process and management and scaling, these are things that could be automated. And so we're taking an inward look on how to streamline process, and it's going to take about 2 weeks. Also, we're going to be in Paris for ETHCC. So if you're going to be in Paris, hit us up. You can DM us on Twitter or message me directly at Cameron Dennis on Telegram. But besides that, we're going to move into networking. Thank you, Jaff. Thank you, Noor. This has been such a great time.